Alright, hi everyone. Hope you're all doing well. It's the end of the weekend. Isn't it amazing how short the weekend is? But when we go through the weekday, it feels like very, very long. I kind of always wondered why. I feel like people should maybe work at most like 4 days and then they get 3 days off instead of 5 days. Well, most people work 5 days. For me, I work 6, but that's beside the point. It's kind of like I don't know. I feel like it's not a whole lot of time for people to enjoy life. Just to work 5 days a week. I mean, I imagine like maybe during the weekend. I don't know. I never really quite thought of it that way. Hey Reaper and Lufa, how you guys doing? We're gonna be doing like a little bit of just chatting for the moment, but I do have a lot of cards that I kind of want to open on the side, since I didn't get to do so last time. So anything new with you guys? Thank you for getting rid of that freaky frog. Yeah, that's my uncle, Tony. Tony the Fat Toad. Yeah, his eyes are a little bit, well, I mean, it kind of looks sneaky, but he well, I don't know, he's fine for the most part. Stressed and angry? About what? What are you stressed and angry about? Oh, here, let me play some music for the background. All right. Well, I think maybe if I turn it down like a little bit more. I think this is kind of good enough, maybe. We got through the base game of Scarlet and Violet. So what made you angry? Were you angry because there wasn't more? Damn it, I got through the game. There's nothing else. I don't know, were you kind of disappointed by it? Yeah, I don't know what this music is, but it says it's Animal Crossing. It's part of the playlist Nintendo Chill Music to work and study in the morning. Oh, I wonder if I ever asked you guys this, but if you guys... I don't know how many people feel this way, but if you guys would rather specialize in one specific thing for the rest of your life, would you do that or be a jack of all trades? I'm not sure if we ever talked about that, but I have a feeling we did. Like, people say when you're a jack of all trades, you're a master of none. But I think if you dedicate enough time for most things that, you know, feel like it's more important to you, or maybe it's part of your hobby in a way, it's probably better to be good at them, because you'll eventually be a master of them and not really be a master of nothing. If that makes sense. Like, being a jack of all trades doesn't really mean that you can't master anything. It just means that you're gonna dedicate a lot less time towards one specific thing. I've mastered a few. I haven't really mastered a whole lot in my time. There are a couple skills that I do have, but I can't say for certain that I'm a master because I don't really keep up with them. Like, not a whole lot. Like, when I say when I say like some of the skills that I have, it's like very generic. It's not like a niche thing by any means. like some of the skills that I can name off the top of my head that I do have. One would be knowing how to play the guitar, and then the other one is public speaking. Uh, a good know-how of what is it? Understanding computers and programming. I think that's like a skill, programming. Most people say it's a computer science, but let me see. What other skills do I have? I feel like I'm kind of interviewing for a job. So, what kind of job? What kind of specifics do you have, or qualifications that make it so that you're good enough to be able to participate or be able to join in our task force? I'd say if like I was ever, well, I can't say for certain I was ever asked this sort of thing, but I think I don't know. Were you guys ever asked that when you tried applying for jobs, or when you maybe you've heard stories once or twice of people applying to jobs and then they ask you these interview questions. They asked you, yeah, what do you think you can provide for our company? You know, like what are your biggest weaknesses? Like for me, I feel like I can point out my weaknesses pretty well. I'd say for one thing, I'm pretty disorganized. Like I jump from I jump from thought to thought. I don't really stick to one thing for particularly a long time. So, not just like being disorganized, but whenever I do anything, I I tend to just do things by myself, like rather than as a group. I don't know if people consider that as like a disadvantage, but I find that like whenever I do anything, I'm better at doing it alone than with people. I'm not saying that like people kind of drag you down in terms of a group. I'm just saying that I work a lot better if I just do things by myself. So I'd say maybe, I'm not saying that I wouldn't be like a team player by any means. Like I'm usually the type of person that does follow like the group and all, but I would rather make it so that I don't want to say if like people are doing like stupid things, I'm not gonna like call them out on it. But I feel like most people would kind of feel the same way, you know, if somebody is part of the group and then they're like doing stupid things, or you know, you feel like you could obviously do a lot better, and you know, if you don't say anything, then you're just gonna the whole thing, the whole project's gonna get derailed. I'm just saying, you know, if I could do things better, I'll offer my opinion. But usually, that doesn't always seem to be the case. Hey Kazi, how's it going, man? How you been doing? Anything new with you? I wonder if anybody ever feels this way, because I've heard this a lot with people in their younger 20s. So I saw, well, I don't know, whenever I go on YouTube, I'm recommended a lot of TV show clips, and one of the TV show clips I got recommended was from The Sopranos, where like one of the characters was asking another character, was like, have you ever, you ever feel like nothing good was gonna happen to you? And then the other guy responds, yeah, nothing did, so what? And I think it's a good question, but I feel like for me, I think my philosophy when it comes to life is, I don't know how many people feel this way. Maybe a lot of people in their 20s feel like they haven't accomplished anything yet. But if you just take a look at what you've done so far, I'm pretty sure there's a lot there. I mean, just going to college and participating in high school, that's already I think it's a huge accomplishment. Because I think of right now where most people are. I don't think their head is in the right position. But to me though, it's a good question because good things really only happen to people who act rather than the ones who don't. And it's if you want good things to happen, I feel like you just have to take baby steps and do things that you want and not what other people want, nor because it's hard and it's overwhelming. Because I feel like for the most part, people give in pretty easily. Even like if there's an obstacle in their way, they treat it as such. But in the grand scheme of things, it's important. If you really want to do it, you kind of have to, even if the going gets tough. At least that's how I think of things. Oh, besides that though, I was watching a video. Like I've seen so many of this. I mean, so I've seen so many of these things where they're like scrolling and they have like a time lapse or a timeline of specific types of media. So one of the videos that I watched was the same thing I talked about, but they had anime properties from different studios. Because usually animes are made from different studios and they get passed down. So I thought about how difficult it actually is to make a manga. Because it's not only that you have to write the story, right? You have to make the storyboards and then you have to draw it yourself. But it's hard to make a good engaging story that catches on. Because if you're a writer, well, most people who write, like regular book writing, it's you just have to put your thoughts on paper. But for the drawing portion, that's like something extra. I guess like if you do make a manga, you can hire other people to draw for you, but that you kind of have to take on the task of hiring more people and then have more money to put towards aside for that, right? Compared to writing a regular book, it might be a bit easier because the only person that has the thoughts and what should really matter is just like the author, right? Hmm. Okay, I wonder if you guys heard about this, but I saw that. Well, I don't know if anybody is ever interested in this sort of thing, but I saw that for VTubers. I wanted to talk about this the other day, but I saw that for Holostars. At least, well, you guys know what Holostars are, right? I hope you guys do. So, well, I might as well talk about it because, at least to me, I think it's an interesting subject. Hollow Live. It's close to that, but it's for guys. So I saw that they made a mention on their social media handles that for the Japanese branch, they're supposedly downsizing, which means that, well, it means a lot of things, but it also, one thing it does mean is that they're on the way they do things and the way they operate is that for each and every single VTuber that's part of that branch, they're kind of on their own. So I guess they don't have any backing when it comes to merchandise, song covers, and specific sales or concerts and that sort of thing. Which I to be fair though, I think in like the VTubing market, for guys though, most guys kind of get it the wrong way when it comes to becoming like a VTuber. Because it's from what I've seen though, a lot of the guy VTubers, I think most people already know this. The way they have like their personalities are set up, they kind of put up like some sort of front where I've said this so many times before that they act like K-pop muscle boys. And they speak as though they're really silent and they don't want to wake up their parents in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. or something. and, and to me, I feel like it doesn't really. I don't normally watch like streamers that do that, and you can kind of like the way I think of guy VTubers is the same way I think of regular streamers. I think it has more so to do with being direct and honest and not really, having a shtick, if that makes any sense. Like for me, whenever I do watch any streamers at all, I don't really watch guys that do that sort of thing or put up an act. I just watch streamers who play the game without the cutesy breathy shit. If that makes any sense. But it's interesting to note that for the Hollow Stars branch or the male VTubers, well, I think I've seen like so many other male VTuber branches or other male VTuber groups. They've definitely gone. They've definitely done a lot better. I know one big group. It has more of a reliance on their specific target audience, but I found that I guess if you're just honest with people, you don't really have to do things you don't really want to, but you still gotta put in the effort and you still gotta put in the work to become a content creator. And that's what VTubers are, at least to me. I'm pretty sure that I've learned this lesson down the road. It doesn't really matter if you put up like a cute character behind the screen, as long as you're honest and you're kind of yourself, and you make good content, obviously. Then that's all that should matter, and you'll be more successful that way. But it's finding what you're really good at and actually doing it. That's also important. And I guess maybe it's the same way as people who are entering college and they have no idea what they want to pursue. So for a lot of people getting into content creation, or maybe in the VTubing space, maybe they don't know what they wanted to do. But that's okay. Because eventually, I think everybody finds their way, even even in college. I was gripping her. What? What is that? Okay. Well, that's very awkward. So is anybody anticipating anything? Anything, well, even remotely interesting that you guys found? Because I can't say for certain right now. There's like a whole lot going on. Well, I don't know. How do you guys usually... What do you guys usually think of like the people around you? Like when it comes to your neighborhood? Because I've always heard a lot of reports of people fighting over Pokemon cards and the GTA 5 type heist on card shops. But over where I live, even though we do have like a lot of card shops, but I've never experienced that here. So we never really have a whole lot of people that get out of order. Usually people are pretty polite about certain things, and for the most part they keep their heads down and they have they have proper manners. But it's not to say that things don't happen. Some events have happened in the past But for the most part, they've just been like one-off deals. They've never been, like daily type of things where it happens from time to time. I live in a small, well-off town, and we mind our own business, and there are no stores with cards here. Oh, really? Hmm. I think the most surprising thing is like where I live. Like the amount of people that we live, the amount of people here, it's like really compacted and condensed. But even though if it's like condensed or like even though there's like a lot of people, there's never usually a whole lot of traffic. So even though we're condensed in a way, we can kind of get around really quickly, which does say something because most people, I feel like whenever they do anything or they need to get anywhere, they're probably the most efficient and just going at one direction or like one place at a time. That's kind of like the same for me. I don't really like jump to place to place. If I need to go to one pond or like one place, I kind of just stick with it. I don't really need to go anywhere else. Hello, froggies. What's that behind you? A pond? No, you guys are swimming inside Froggy's pond. I am walking you inside my humble abode. I give you guys the unlimited air to be able to breathe. That's why you guys can be underwater. Hey Ash, how's it going, man? What's new with you? Oh, I kind of want to show you guys this. But well, I don't know. I think most people might not give a crap about trading cards for Pokemon in specifics. But the other day, I asked my sister if she wanted some cards because I saw some at Target. Because I was like on my way home and I was like, yeah, you know what? I might as well check out Target. I was kind of surprised. Most people, I had to look it up, but most people, there's like a specific Pokemon set right now that, well, I don't want to say it's like not popular by any means, but most people don't really care that much about it. And that's a good thing, at least for me. Like, I don't really care all that much about... Oh, I can't say for certain I care that much about Pokemon cards in general. But my sister does, so usually if she does have something she wants, then I kind of just buy into it too. Or usually during Sundays when we do anything with hand cams, we kind of open up cards. Hold on, I want you guys to see this. Maybe it looks a lot better in like person, but like to me it kind of just looks ugly. Like I don't quite get it. I don't know why people like these specific types of Pokemon cards, but they do. I got my driver's license. Did you? Congrats, man. I remember one person got their driver's license a while ago. I think it was I think it was Ember. But that was like maybe a couple, well, maybe like 6 months ago. I could be wrong, but it's nice that you got your driver's license. You have any plans on where you want to go because you got a driver's license now? Nah, Froggies, I'm just gonna drive off in the distance, and I'm just gonna let the wind take me wherever it goes. Oh, but I think probably now is probably one of the worst times to drive because of gas prices. I don't know where it is or how much it is for you guys, but where I'm at, we're up to like $6 a gallon, so that's a lot. Damn, where is it? Okay, here it is. Damn, it's so ugly. I don't get it. I don't know why people like it. But I want to show you guys it because it's like worth I don't know, it's like it's like 100 and something dollars. Okay. Where is it? It doesn't really want to show up for some reason. Well, either that or I have to wait a little bit. I kind of like the change in music. It's not just like lo-fi. I remember for the longest time I always called it lofi, and then people had to correct me. It's not called lofi. It's called lo-fi. But yeah, she got this card yesterday. Well, not yesterday. She just texted me at about 3 p.m. and she was like, "I got this." I was like, "Yay, congrats." I don't know. It just I don't know why most people would want this, but I guess because it's gold, it's worth something. I mean, it's not made of gold, but it's just bright yellow and it's I don't know. I don't even know what that is. But it's like very expensive and yeah. I'm sure there's other cards that are a lot better than this, but I don't know. But Pokemon cards just don't really appeal to me all that much. Not in general. Usually, if it's any type of cards, I think of it in like a specific sense, like less so of monetary value and more so of like the look of it, aesthetically speaking. So, did anybody eat anything, any dinner, their dinner yet? I haven't. Well, I haven't gotten to eat anything. Like just before the stream, I just had an iced coffee, and I just happened to spill it, so that took me some time to clean it up. Unfortunately. You spend a lot of money on something you don't like then? No, I primarily just do it so that we have something to actually open up for our hand cam streams. I don't want to like do something where it's like just me whenever I have anything to do with a hand cam. Like I don't want it to just be that, but I want something on the side so people are like, yeah, Froggies. That's cool. But for the most part, whenever I do spend money on anything, the majority of it that I spend on is not Pokemon. It's mostly Yu-Gi-Oh! But for Yu-Gi-Oh! What I do is I spend a lot of it opening packs off stream. So I do have my binder, and so far for that binder, it's grown into 5 different binders. So it's the collection that I have for Yu-Gi-Oh has definitely been growing, and it's kind of hard to keep up with a lot of the archetypes that Yu-Gi-Oh has, but I've been steadily doing it. I wonder if you guys want to see. Well, actually, we might do it until a little bit later into the stream, but right now I kind of just want to talk about more basic type of topics. Oh, what was I gonna talk about? I really should try to write these things down, but lately I've only ever been written down a couple things just so that I remember them. But there's like so much that I usually watch from time to time that I never really remember like what it's about. Wait, maybe this will jog my memory. I remember a while back there used to be a YouTube channel that talked about a lot of interesting topics, but it was like just the most random stuff. And usually... Oh, I think I remember what it was called. It was called Great Big Story. I tried that Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, but it was too much. Summoning your opponent does, then they keep hitting your deck hard. Honestly, I don't really... Well, I do play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! But I don't play it competitively by any means. So for me, I play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. It's just that when it comes to the PvP mode, I'm not a competitive person by any means. And I've said this so many times before. But when it comes to the solo thing, the solo matches that you can do, like I've been practicing a lot with different decks. So I'd say for in general, like learning Yu-Gi-Oh! It can be pretty fun. It's just that when you're up against somebody that's extremely knowledgeable, they can make it less fun. Because for people starting out, it's like, well, how am I supposed to compete with this when people are doing all this sorts of stuff that I don't quite understand yet? Like, I felt that at first, but eventually I kind of just did things my own way and I had fun doing it. If you tried, would you be able to make content creation full time? I mean, I definitely can. I definitely don't really want to. Like, what I'm doing currently, I kind of quit the thought of making content, well, serious content, just for the sake of views and all that sort, because it wasn't enjoyable for me. It's not fun. It really isn't. It's very taxing on your mental health. And I say this because for a lot of people, no matter who it is, if you look at anybody on YouTube, and even if you don't look at it as like from a job perspective, even as VTubers, they are people that are... Well, a lot of the big YouTubers, they know what they're doing, and they know their target audience. So even if you think they're making a video for fun, it might not necessarily be the case. Like, for a lot of YouTubers who make content on specific games in general, like I did, right, with Wizard 101, it's like it's kind of like the thought of having to do that every week on something you don't really want to do, but you're kind of pushing yourself to do it anyways. So, kind of think of that in a way where you want to do a job that you don't want to do, but you're kind of forced to do it. That's kind of how content creation is in a nutshell. So, for a lot of people, if they have this on as their source of income, well, you have to do it. Otherwise, you're gonna go out and flip patties for a living, unless unless some way you can. Well, if you know your employer, you can get your job back. There is like one person that I do know off the top. This is not like common knowledge or anything, but I remember there was like one guy that quit his job of being a lawyer, or not a lawyer. He quit his job as an attorney to open up Pokemon cards. So it's kind of the stigma that comes behind that, where it's like, damn, you quit your 100k or 200k job to do that. And it's not like the best job title, and I'm not saying that I judge people, but I'm not judging either. It's just, in order to do YouTube as a job, you need to be fully committed into it. I'll just like touch on that like after this. I don't want to get like too deep into it because it might bore a lot of people. I could never do Yu-Gi-Oh! My friends are really into it and wanted to get me into it, but I just couldn't. I'm not gonna lie, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a very complicated game. A lot of people might say that there are other card games that are more complicated, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the most complicated. Just because of so many cards that are being printed, and so many ways that you can use those cards and interact with your opponent. Because compared to most other card games, it's a turn-by-turn type of type of trading card games. For most card games out there, they're like turn-by-turn. But for Yu-Gi-Oh!, the game has evolved to such a point where if you play a card on your turn, your opponent is also playing on your turn. So just because you think you're going first, you're not going first. You're going first simultaneously with your opponent. So it's like you both share a turn, kind of. And it's kind of messed up right now, where it's more fast-paced than it is for most people. And I get it. I don't really like it, but it is the way that it is. I really didn't care too much for the anime. The anime is definitely a lot more it's a lot more different, but they did cancel it. I'm kind of saddened by it, but I guess that's just the way that it is. What age did you move out your parents' house and become financially independent? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not like financially independent. Well, technically I am, but I do help around the house and I do help out my parents sometimes. Well, I do stay with them, obviously, because they're like 70-something years old. Because right now, well, I am financially independent, but I do look after my parents. If that makes any sense. Because it has nothing to do with like Chinese culture or anything. I am the youngest of my family. I do have a brother and sister. But if I wasn't here taking care of my parents, and I wasn't here, supporting them, or helping them out with doctor's appointments, and you know getting their medicine, or not getting their driving, and taking their prescriptions from pharmacies, and then just a lot of stuff, in grocery shopping in general. There's nobody else that can do it for them, which is kind of a shame. Like, I obviously don't really want to put them into a home. Like, how many of you guys, like, when you get older, let's say you have kids, do you really want to be in a retirement home? Like, do you want to sit in like a wheelchair and then watch paint dry as the hours just keep ticking until it comes to the nighttime, then you get taken a sponge bath? That's the way I think of it, right? Because obviously, I'm not saying that I'm contractually obligated, but morally speaking, if I don't take care of my parents, nobody else is gonna do that. So whatever they need, I do it. But it's not to say from time to time I don't call my dad a fat ass. Because he's a fat ass. I can also say that they're idiots. And that's just being truthful. Alright? You guys can argue all you want, and you can say that your parents are not dumb. But my parents does not know the backside of a mouse controller, nor does she know what a keyboard is. So it's and this is and I'm saying this because she has a computer, but I've tried so many times to be able to teach her like the numbers on the keyboard, and input like the passwords. But there comes a point when you do that 50 times, it kind of gets infuriating. So I am patient to a degree, but like, people have to understand that there's a certain point where you can get angry at that sort of thing. Not well, I generally don't get angry, like serious heated over that stuff, but for me, like, I take care of my parents, and I can call them idiots. I think I think that's a given. All right, anybody would be frustrated in that situation. I don't know, when my mom worked at a retirement home when I was younger, I visited and I thought it was pretty cool. Really? I don't know, man. When I visited a retirement home, everybody was just like sitting, staring at a TV on top of the ceiling. And they looked dead. Well, they weren't dead, but they were, I don't know, they were kind of paralyzed, and they didn't move. I actually saw I saw a fly crawl up one of the old people's noses, and they didn't do anything. So I like that. That's the extent of retirement homes that are around me, though. Maybe it differs from old people depending on where you live, but we don't. From what I saw, it was pretty depressing. Like, it's like, I'm saying this because it's my experience with my grandma, because because the thing is, like, at one point in our life, I think this was about 5 years ago or 6 years ago, when I was still in college, and we had to take care of our grandma. Everybody, like, our grandma had 4 different kids, so eventually all of them got frustrated having to take care of our grandma. So eventually they had to send her to a retirement home, because they had their own lives to deal with. They had their own lives to live, and things to take care of, responsibilities, priorities, all that sort. And for me, that wouldn't sit right with my own parents. I would look after my grandma if I could, but like at the time, you have to understand as a college student, I cannot manage that on my own, because I don't have the time necessarily, because I was my schedule was pretty hectic in college, and I don't get me wrong, I wanted to take care of my grandma, but like my schedule was from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. It was classes, and then all throughout 9 to 9 p.m. it was just like classes the whole way through. And maybe I had a little bit of time. I had 30 minutes in, but my college campus was literally an hour long away. And if I wanted to go to the campus, I had to drive 1 hour, and then if I wanted to come home, I'd had to drive another hour. And on top of that, I was also trying to, do YouTube at the same time. So I was extremely busy trying to manage everything. And it wasn't just that, but I also take care of other things for my family, like bills, for instance. So when I say bills, I mean like having to go online and then take care of that stuff. When I visited, they had activities they could do, and they had lunches that looked good. Man, you have a really lucky retirement home then, because our retirement home where I visited, it's it's not that far away. It's about 30 minutes away from me, but it was probably one of the more depressing homes that I've seen. I don't know where it is specifically that some people where they live, but it must be a lot better. Welcome to the Frog Crew. Welcome to the Frog Crew, Lafayette. Congratulations. Actually, I don't know if there's like congratulations are in order. But congrats! Yay! Hmm. Yeah, but other than that, uh, for the most part, after college, I am not financially independent. Well, I don't know. I can't say for certain I'm financially independent, because I still technically live with my parents, and I'm saving money on the side while at the same time I am helping out at the household. If that makes any sense. I feel like that's the most logical thing, because there's not a whole lot I can do right now. I'm kind of stuck with the cards that I have. Hey, Saber Cat. Hi to my favorite green humanoid amphibian. Yay, I'm an amphibian. I almost forgot about that. You guys know that we're in the same league as crocodiles? Wait, are crocodiles amphibians? Reptiles are, right? Okay, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. I don't know if any amphibians are dangerous at all. I'd say the only dangerous amphibians are the ones that have toxins on their skin. I am not such a frog. I might have slimy skin and maybe moisty skin, but it's not dangerous or anything to touch at all. So, have you guys played any new games recently? Or any games that you guys are looking forward to? I know there's like two games people are looking forward to right now, specifically. I know we talked about this too, but I'm kind of curious as to what people are interested in. I know there's like one where it's like Dark Souls on the Switch. I forgot its name, but that and the other one was Tamagotchi Life. The the only game I feel like I'm really looking forward to. Well, I can't say that for certain, but it's like the most anticipated. I think it's pretty obvious. Most anticipated is GTA 6. I'm trying to think of like another game though. Hmm. Oh, I wonder. Are there like any people here that are interested in sports? Like I have to wonder though. I'm saying this because I'm kind of genuinely curious. I know that for soccer, it's like supposedly the most popular sport outside of the US. So it's like a really big thing outside of the US too. But I don't know. Like I've never been much of a sports guy. I don't really follow all that much. It's I don't know. Cuz the way I think of sports is like people splitting themselves off into different teams, and then they compete with each other. Well, they don't compete with each other. They say my team is better than yours. And then I don't know. They say our team is going to win this year. I don't know. Like sports don't really like I like the idea of playing for sports, right? When I was in high school, I was a lot more active in playing different sports like basketball, volleyball, and soccer to a certain degree. But I never once thought that I should turn on the TV to watch soccer. So it I feel almost the same way as to like watching soccer matches or like football matches on TV. Like playing is definitely a lot more fun, but I don't know how watching it could be fun. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't know. I would like to play Tamagotchi, but for Pokemon and Hello Kitty. Pokemon, huh? I heard they're coming out with the newest Pokemon game. Anybody anticipating that one? What do they call it? Pokemon Waves and I don't know, Wind. What was it called? Pokemon Waves and Pokemon Waves and Winds. Or sorry, not Waves and Winds and Waves. Yeah, that's supposedly the newest Pokemon game that's gonna release next year. But if there's anything that I've seen so far with of Scarlet and Violet and performance, like Switch 1 performance with the Switch, Switch 1 performance with Scarlet and Violet was terrible. It like well, it it wasn't great because things were popping in and out, but also the NPCs moved at a PowerPoint slide pace. But besides that, I think it was a pretty standard Pokemon game. It was nice though that you get to, roam over the overworld and you get to see Pokemon instead of just encountering them and have like a turn-by-turn basis type of showdown. Even though it still is, it's just nice to see that for once. I don't know how it is for Switch 2. It might be a lot better in terms of performance, but the Switch 1 when it was released, it was not great. And I played it maybe like a couple months after the release. I want to get into sports, its country and states fighting, and I think that's cool. Sports, its countries and states fighting. Sports and countries and states fighting. Countries fighting. I don't know, that just kind of gives me a thought. For whatever reason, this popped into my mind. For the longest time, when I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of Jeopardy. You guys know what Jeopardy is, right? It's like the show with that one old guy, and then he asks questions, and you have to, well, he doesn't, he has like answers in the form of a question, and then you have to give him the maybe I got that backwards. I'm trying to remember now. It's kind of convoluted, but it's a game show where he gives you the answer, but you have to, he gives you the answer to a prompt, but you have to answer it in the form of a question. There. So the reason why it kind of reminded me of that, and I don't know why exactly. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. Damn it, where was I going with this? I'm trying to remember. Oh, now I remember. Yeah, I used to think watching that show, everybody on, like, who went on there was extremely smart. And, you know, everybody was intelligent and, like, knowledgeable. I was like, holy shit, these people know so much. But then I realized that people are, they study beforehand, and they, like, you aren't given the answers, but you kind of have an idea of, like, the broad categories that are gonna appear on the show. So technically, what most people do is that they gather info from the show based off of, like, what appears pretty often, and then they select those categories to study based off of it. So they run, like, statistical data, and then, like, what could appear and what can't appear. But in general, it's better to study for everything. Didn't the old guy from Jeopardy die? You mean Alex Trebek? Yeah, I think he did. I don't know who replaced him, but there's a lot of people on there. There was, like, one guy who had a really huge streak of coming back to the show, and I think he was on there for, like, I don't know. Let me see. What was his name? Ken Jennings. What was his streak? Oh, he never lost for 74 consecutive shows. And throughout that entire time, he earned $2.5 million just by studying. But I feel like even though you do have to study for the show, I think you need some form of intelligence to be able to remember all that stuff, and then to be able to be consistent at winning, and, you know, keep that memory fresh. Like, I think it requires definitely a lot more intelligence to be able to do that. Because, like, the whole show isn't like it isn't like their daily life where they need to keep doing it. Like, they have other things too, right? Or maybe it's like the same way I think of school. Switch 2 makes Violet run way better? Does it? Ken Jennings is literally the new host now. Is he? I don't know. I haven't watched Jeopardy in the longest time. I used to do so when I'd say I used to watch Jeopardy back in my college and high school years, and even when I was a kid. But I don't watch TV anymore, and I've stopped since I got out of college. So it's been about 6 years now. Memory does not equal intelligence. No, I mean, you are right about that. I think it does require like specific training to be able to memorize something. Or I don't know, like maybe memorizing specific patterns. What do you think your parents what do your parents think when you told them you do YouTube? Let me see. What did my parents think? Well, when I first did it, they were like, "Damn, it's like a fucking waste of time. You know, you could go into the real world and get like a job." I'm just kidding. They were like, "Oh, you're doing YouTube? What is that?" What's YouTube? So that's my parents' reaction when I first got serious and I started making money off of YouTube. They were like, "What is YouTube?" Because a while back when I first started, they weren't like fully aware of technology. Because like when I was still in college, they had flip phones. Well, at the start of college, they had flip phones, and it was only until like maybe a few years after that where we, like, all of us started to adapt to technology. I mean, when I was in high school, and that was like 2010 or like 2011, I still had a flip phone. I didn't have an iPhone. I didn't have any smartphones at all. So I don't want to say it's like very primitive, but they had no idea what it was. But when I told them, "Hey, you know, I can make a little bit of money on the side while I'm like I'm pursuing my degree at school," they were like, "Okay, that's cool. We don't know what that is, but that's good though." Yeah, that's like the extent of acceptance when it comes to my parents' knowledge of YouTube. Intelligence is more of akin to problem solving. I know we talked about this before. Well, I talked about this like very loosely, but you guys watch like the movie Idiocracy, right? Like it kind of exaggerates a lot of it, but I think it has like true and it has merit in certain aspects of what people think about, and like the trajectory of where people are kind of headed. Because it does have some things that people, some things the movie does have that are very true. Like for instance, people who generally don't think about their status or their income status, they tend to have a lot more kids than ones that do think about like the future and how much money they make and what's the right time and financing and all that sort. That's just like one of the things. I'm not saying intelligent people take a lot longer and have less kids, or maybe have a less chance of having kids and put it off for a while. But I like to think that there are certain aspects of the movie that they do borrow a lot from in real life. Because the ideas don't just come from nowhere. They have to stem from something. Or like the idea of Costco eventually having everything. Of from going there to for school, or even now Costco building apartment buildings on top of their stores, so that Costco eventually encompasses every aspect of life when it comes to shopping. So, as we draw nearer and nearer into this this future, there are things that there are things that are kind of not scarily accurate, but it kind of exaggerates a lot of things. What's with the dashes in the chat? That's kind of interesting. Well, I don't know. I can't say that's interesting. I don't know what that means. It's not like some kid that happened to wander here and then I don't know, they slipped their fingers. Mom, what happened to Skibbity Toilet? Froggies, what do you think it means to be wise? I don't know. Being old? I think when it comes to being wise, it's just having a good understanding of what you know and being able to apply them, and being able to show other people what you know, and if they ask for it, impart knowledge onto them because they have an interest in it. I think that's probably maybe a loose definition of becoming wise. Going back to when you were talking about sports, I wouldn't mind playing a sport called cricket. Oh, is that the one where you have a mallet and then you have like different rings, and then you have to set up the rings and then you have to hit a ball inside those rings? Well, not rings, I don't know what you call it. Or I don't know, maybe it's not a mallet, maybe it's like a bat. That's croquet? Okay, I have no idea what cricket is. Oh, wait, no, I know what cricket is. It's badminton, right? Except for it's not badminton. It's like you're hitting, I don't know, you're hitting like the same thing as badminton almost. I think, I don't know. Actually, let me check. What is cricket? Okay, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know what cricket is. But according to Google, you hit a ball with a bat and it's like baseball. But you hit it, but it's not like baseball. You're hitting it. Well, I don't know. I have no idea. It's like a really condensed baseball. It's baseball equestrian with a flat bat. Oh. So it's like a really foreign thing. Okay, I didn't know that. Well, now I know. Don't worry, I'm putting this inside the memory bank. This is gonna be a core memory. The day Froggy learns cricket is the equestrian equestrian baseball with a flat bat. Do you still make money from old videos that went viral, like a notable amount, or just chump change? No, I still make like a decent bit off of YouTube. When I say make a decent bit, I don't know, make enough money where it's like maybe $100 every couple of months. I can't say for certain that's like chump change, because $100 is definitely like $100 is a lot of money. Like you could buy a lot with $100. You could buy, like, for example, a GTX 1080 for $100. Equestrian would imply it has horses when it doesn't. I don't know then. Maybe it's something else then. But when I was making when I was doing YouTube, man, I've said this like so many times during like just chatting, but when I was making money off YouTube, I made like 300 to like 500 a month. But that was also when I was going to college, so I wasn't like on a grind per se. Like when I made videos, by making like 300 to 500 a month, I was making like one video a week, which isn't bad. But like the thing is, like, people have to understand that at a certain point, if you keep making those videos and you keep doing something you don't want to do, there comes a time where, you know, you kind of snap and then you want to do other things. I can't say for certain I snapped, but I just enjoy doing other things. I just enjoy, like, for instance, right now what we're doing, we're just doing chatting, right? I enjoy doing that, and I also enjoy playing different games. And the more I get older, the more I want to experience different things. So, you know, if I ever want to go back and do YouTube in terms of a serious sense, I want to do something that maybe I don't want to treat it necessarily as a job. I kind of want to just do it for the sake of having fun. Who knows? Maybe by the end of the year, I might come back to doing YouTube. Not full time. When I say doing YouTube, maybe I'll go back into, I don't know, once. I'll do like, I don't know, a challenge or something. I don't know. But I that's not like given. That's not like 100%. How old are you right now? I am 28. I am, well, 28 going on 29 of this year, probably. Actually, I don't know. I might be 28, I might be 27. Most likely I'm 28. I tend not to keep track of my age all that much. Because for me, whatever I do focus on, I tend not to focus on like my birthday. I don't focus on like things that don't matter all that much. I don't know. Do most people care about when they were born? Do they care about their birthday all that much? I don't. Like, for me, my birthday is just another day. Like, I was born, I lived for 20 something years, and I'm doing stuff. Like, that's just the extent of what it is. My birthday is just another day. Who's the richest person in China? I don't know, maybe it's the chairman of China? I don't know. Or maybe it's the, I don't know, the emperor of China? I have no idea. But for the longest time, though, uh, let me see. Like, let me talk about my brother and sister. So my brother right now, he's 38 and he's about to approach his early 40s, and he has a wife, and also he has a down payment on a home. His home is like up in the hills, and it's, I don't know, I think it's like close to maybe $1 million. I don't know how much he put on a deposit. Maybe it's like 200 grand. So he was kind of fortunate enough to find he was fortunate enough to find a wife that was rich, but a wife that actually cares. So he has life kind of pretty much set. When I say rich, I mean like his wife is or my sister-in-law is pretty well off. Like she comes from a family that has a lot of money, and they kind of just throw money around, kind of. But they don't spoil their daughter with money. When I say spoil, I mean she has a job that's like a pretty honest living. That she works as not a secretary, but she works as like a clerk behind a desk at some sort of office firm. So even though her parents are well off, she's still pretty humble to not, jump the gun of, my parents are loaded with money, I'm just gonna use my parents' money, I'm gonna buy everything that I could have, and I don't know, I'm just gonna spend it on multiple cars and houses and that type of stuff. So my brother is pretty well off, well set for life, kind of. All he has to do is just work at his job, and his job isn't spectacular. His job is just a customer service representative. But my sister, on the other hand, she lives a different kind of lifestyle. She has a roommate, and she has a down payment on her house, but she hasn't fully paid it off yet, along with my brother. They're still trying to pay off their own houses, and my sister isn't, what do you call it? She isn't like a normal girl. She's like a tom girl. She's like a tomboy. I think that's what you call it. Where she's like a guy, but she's a girl, and she wears a lot of guy clothing. But she isn't. She doesn't have like a husband or like a boyfriend or anything. And she's about 4 years older than my brother. She's in her 40s. And that's fine. Some people don't have to get married. Some people don't have to have like a whole family or anything. Some people are complacent with who they are and what they want to be and what they want to do. I never really shame people for that. I'm just saying what it is. What it is. It is what it is. Like and the thing is, like, the way she lives, she kind of lives life on edge, but she's well off in the sense that she has a roommate, but she also has connections. So her employer is also her friend, and as of going into maybe a couple months from now, she's gonna head back to Hong Kong, and she's gonna participate in a singing competition again. I don't know the specifics exactly, but she has a lot more free time than most people because she's friends with her employer, and her employer supports her in whatever endeavors that she has. So everyone in my family has different paths in life, but they all ended and they all followed their own path to a T. That's just saying that if anybody is like in a place where they're uncertain right now, like maybe right now you don't feel like you're in the best spot, but everything eventually works out in the end as long as you know keep at it and you keep living life, and it will work out eventually. I mean, it's like look, I'll say this, okay? My brother and my sister is not the most normal. They're not like average people. Because when they were kids, my sister was a drunk, but also a smoker, and she followed in with the wrong crowd. And my brother, on the other hand, was in the triad, and well, I don't know. It's let's just say he was like with gangsters, and it's let's just say that things eventually worked out in the end for them. Maybe I revealed too much there, but let's just say that if you think your life is messed up right now, no matter how messed up it is, eventually things will turn out right as rain. And I'm using my brother and sister as an example for it. What do you call Parmesan in the land of the rising sun? Parmesan in the land of the rising sun. I don't know, sun-baked cheese? Cheez-Its? That's nice for your bro. Yeah, he's actually in a good place right now. He might not really enjoy his customer service job, where people yell at him all the time, but it is a job and it's pretty lenient. So even though he has that one customer service job, the perks are that he gets to work from home pretty often. So there are good things to be had where on like what he does. Your sister is definitely romantically involved with her employer. I've never heard of a boss that's this supportive. Nah, she definitely isn't. Like she isn't, man. I say this for certain because her boss is also a girl. So like she's just very good friends with her boss. I say so because her boss was willing to go the distance and support her financially when she was in Hong Kong for the past 2 months or so. So she set up my sister with a house in Hong Kong. Well, she rented her a house there, and it was a pretty big house. That well, let's just say that it's just my brother and sister are definitely a lot more successful where they're at right now than they used to be. Did someone delete my chat message? No, we didn't. I don't delete anything. Unless Flame Bro is stealth sniping. I don't think he is. He may be able to quickscope in Fortnite, may be able to clutch it out, but I don't think he's able to snipe messages that fast. But yeah, for me though, I don't really have any plans going forward. I I just do whatever I'm currently doing, if that makes any sense. Like I just don't really I don't really plan things out ahead. I kind of just go with life as a person that says it is what it is. So your bro is basically a commoner who married a princess? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Kind of. Where do you hope to be in 10 years, Froggies? I don't really know. That's a question that I can't really answer. I guess maybe the best definitive answer is maybe being old. That's where I see myself in 10 years. Being old. Froggy's being getting into his 40s. And then looking back and it's like, damn, I was so young. What the fuck happened? That's kind of maybe where the midlife crisis would hit. So you and your girlfriend are still taking things steady? Nah, man, what the hell? No, I don't have a girlfriend. That's not like a VTuber thing talking. Like that's just like me in general. I don't really find anyone of like genuine interest. If that makes any sense. Like as a person, it might be weird, but I don't have like some sort of emotional attachment to, or like some sort of need when it comes to people. I'm just introverted in a way where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I don't really need anybody. I swear you said you had one. I did. At one point in high school, I did. But it was only until after a while that it didn't work out, and obviously it's like a teenage phase. It's a teenage thing. I think at some point every teenager kind of goes through that and sort of thing. Eventually, though, as I get older, or as I got older, it just turns out that it doesn't matter a whole lot. Because you guys want to know why? When you're single, you get to do a whole lot of stuff that you don't get to when you get married. When you get married, you lose your freedom. And that's something I kind of tinkered around with. That's something I actually thought about. Because when you do get married, or when you get into a relationship of any kind, you have to share things. And when I say share things, I mean like a bank account or something, right? And also, you gotta take a look at your finances and what you're capable of spending. And what you have to do together as like a relationship, right? So, you get less time with yourself and more time with the other person. And there are things that you want to do that maybe you can't do anymore. But you know, maybe it's different for some people. There's a lot of give and take, a lot of pros and cons. Old? I'm not old. I'm not old. I'm not. What do people call it? I'm not unk. I'm not unk. No. I'm not gonna have 3 chins. I don't have wrinkles yet, so... I swear, it's like the one word that never pops up, even though I do say my age. I am like 20... I am in my late 20s, but people never come into the chat and they never say that I'm like really old, or nor am I like an unk or anything. But the thing, I had to look up like what the word unk means and like what classifies as like the word unk. And supposedly for most people or most kids nowadays that say it, like when you're classified as an unk, it's anything that's 18 or above. And I don't know how true that is because I had to look it up beforehand. Maybe I'm foggy on my memory. But is 18 really that old? Like 18 is not old. 18 is like 18 is like when you're barely an adult. That's like you're when you're a kid and you're transitioning to becoming an adult. That's like a young adult. I believe it's 20 plus. Damn, I'm unk. No! Are you like Jaden Animations? Jaden Animations? No. Not really remotely similar. I don't know. I can't say for sure because I don't know the person. But I guess if you're talking about like my lifestyle, I just don't really have like a yearning for having an individual. Like I don't really have like the urge of, I don't know, getting into a relationship, if that makes any sense. I kind of just enjoy my phase of singularity as this one microbial being in the fabric of the universe. Not really. Some people can have alone times with their spouses or girlfriends and boyfriends and then go out when they feel like. Really? I mean, maybe it kind of differs from person to person then. Because I know back when I was in a relationship, the person that I was with was very clingy. So... but not clingy, but they were kind of jealous too. It's just... it's... I don't know, maybe it depends. Like, if I talk to another person, they were like, who was that? Did I see you talking with another girl? I was like, dude, I was just... That was just like talking. Can I not have like people that I could talk to? Is just like a really casual thing. Again, it depends. Maybe it's different. Like, I will say though, the reason why that relationship ended was we were very young. Because obviously when you're like 15 or like 16 or something, 15 or 16 is pretty young to understand relationships and without like having to experience things first. But it wasn't just that. It was definitely like my part too of not like understanding and fulfilling certain obligations. Who makes your YouTube thumbnails? The ones with really nice art? Who makes my YouTube thumbnails? The ones with really nice art? Oh, I make those thumbnails. What do you mean make the really nice art? Ace even? I don't know. Arrow Ace? Who's Arrow Ace? Arrow Ace. Oh, that's a word. Individuals who experience little to no sexual or romantic attraction to others. I mean, that's kind of true. I mean, in a way, kind of. While you draw all your thumbnails, that's amazing. I mean, not all of them. Some of them a while back, I had to commission people to draw them. But if you're talking about like the recent thumbnails, I mean, not like I don't really. I mean, it kind of depends. My fiance is also clingy. Maybe some people clingy isn't all that bad. It just kind of depends on who can be able to handle that sort of person and accept them, even if somebody is clingy. Been alone for a while. A clingy girlfriend sounds awesome right now. Well, that's okay. You have us, Reaper. No homo. No gay stuff, but... But we got this. I mean, I mean, I don't think that, I don't know if it replaces it, but. Killing can be sometimes nice, can be annoying sometimes, but nice sometimes. I think it definitely does help because it lets you know that people are outright caring for you. And clingy can be a form of showing affection. Like for me, when I was well, I don't know. I'd say as like a person in general, usually the ones I have closest with me and the ones I consider close friends are the ones that I show that I care a lot. And when I do care a lot, I'll really go above and beyond. More so when I say above and beyond, I'll overstep the boundaries when I don't mean to. That's like my own trait when it comes to having close friends. And I have very few that I consider close. But that's like apart from a relationship type deal. When it comes to like friendship and relationships on the other hand, it's not close, but it's very similar. Like there was one friend that I considered very close, but they didn't think the same way. They just thought I was overbearing, and they thought, I don't know, they thought I was. That I don't know. I always kind of teased them, but I thought it was like a brother and sister type of deal. So I did genuinely care about them, but not in like a really romantic way. I just cared about them like a little sibling. But it's like the same way I care for my sister. Like whatever my sister needs, like if I happen to stop by somewhere or if she happens to need me to do something, then I'm like kind of obliged to do it as like a family member. It's not gay if you're in the girl model. Oh, now you got me there. It's too bad it ain't gonna show up very often. Like for example, what can you achieve in 24 hours of starting Wizard 101? For that thumbnail, did draw it by yourself, it looks so good. What can you achieve in Wizard 101 of starting? No, that's somebody I commissioned, but they did a really good job in that. Like there are certain artists that I think are kind of undervalued that they do make they do draw the character, and I do they I don't know. I think I think when it comes to artists right now, they're kind of undervalued in the space that they're in, because there's so many artists out there right now that I don't want to say it's like been taken over by AI, and some people they can't really tell what's AI and what's not. So with just having so many people and understanding and being able to draw, it makes it hard to not just like I guess stand out, but to make your style appeal to most people. I am gay. I hope nobody uses that against me. It's gonna say out of context, Ruggies, you're gay. Appreciate it though. Did your siblings bully you when you were younger? I'd say my brother did. My brother did bully me when I was a lot younger. Yeah, we used to wrestle. We used to like tussle around. We used to do like WWE moves on like a mattress. So when I was like maybe 8 years old, my brother we had like this one mattress set out on the side, and we had like a TV next to it. So whenever we watched like WWE or like we watched like wrestling, we would just like tussle around. So he would like throw me on top of like the desk, and I would just like land on the mattress. And then other times I would land on my neck, but I wouldn't break it because the mattress was like very soft. And I know like some people like this says on the TV is like viewer discretion is advised. You shouldn't do this shit at home. But it's like, you know, there's no such thing as you shouldn't do this at home, because I know a lot of kids used to do the same thing. But in the form of bullying, like there were times where I did get injured, but like not a serious injury. I did cry when I was like 7 or 8, and then my brother was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that." And then my brother would he would buy me, I don't know, he would go out and he'd buy me ice cream. Then he'd come back. He was like, "Here you go. Here you go. I didn't mean it." So it's that's the extent of quote unquote bullying. So bullying in a sense is like teasing. Like you don't mean it in a serious manner. At the end of the day, you still care, because you're still family, and my brother was still family to me. But if we're talking about like trauma or like family trauma or something, I'd say um I don't know. Uh, I'd say like the closest thing in terms of neglect is probably my parents. Like I know when I was a kid, they were a lot more busy, so they didn't really look after me all that much. My dad worked he worked 3 different jobs. He worked as a butcher, he worked as a retail worker, and he also worked as a I don't think it was a fast food worker. No, he worked 2 jobs, and he also went to school. He went to night school and to get his GED. So the only one we didn't like, I didn't have anybody to take care of me. So the closest thing was when I was a kid, they just sat me in front of the TV. So I just watched whatever was on TV, and that was like their form of parenting. It's not the best type of parenting, but there are other things that they did to, sort of parent, like, teach me the Chinese characters, like every weekend, or they send me to what is it? They send me to Chinese school, like on the weekends after school, to help me learn Chinese or some crap. And then beyond that, there's like other things they tried doing, like sending me to summer school, or sending me to after school practice, or after school I don't know, sessions to up my grades because they were in the shitter. Like, I've said this a long time, and I've said this so many times before, but my grades in middle school and elementary school are quite possibly one of the worst you can get. Like, I had straight Fs. I'm not ashamed to say it. Like, all throughout the entirety of elementary school, I got straight Fs. The only class I excelled in was PE. And that was the only class I found fun. And that's, like, literally every other class I just found extremely boring. But that was just me. I thought, you know, at a certain point, why was I learning this stuff? I'm not gonna use it later on in life. But it wasn't until high school where I actually got into gear, and I figured out that, you know, I'm gonna have to, like, pass these classes if I want to get into a college and, you know, be able to earn a piece of paper and get my foot in the door and, you know, make connections and all that sort. So that was like the logical thing that I thought of. Because as a kid, you know, I thought about having fun. I didn't really think much of an academics. That's... I think one of the worst ways you can go about it as a kid is get robbed of your childhood and have it full of memories of you just sitting from 7 to 3, cramming your brain full of stuff that you'll forget later on in your life, and most likely you'll never remember it. And I just wanted to fill it with memories of me exploring things and, you know, figuring out more of what life has to offer. That was just me, though. Maybe not a whole lot of people might have the same the same sentiment growing up, but that's how I thought of it. I clipped it and posted it in your Discord. No! No! Mods! I'm just kidding. That's fine, that's fine. That's okay. That's never gonna go viral, though. Luckily, nobody's gonna tag it. That's a good thing. I always have to wonder what would be the dumbest thing to go viral. There's a lot of things that nowadays that can go viral, but like you never know. Like, even the simplest things can do so. But it doesn't really have to make any sense. Oh, hold on. Let me turn on my light. Oh boy. Because I'm sitting in the dark right now. 1 second. Alright. Okay. Alright, I'm back. The light has turned on, and now I can see a lot more clearly. The rain is gone. Alright, I think maybe now's a good time to maybe have like the hand cam, and then open up the cards that I have for today. Alright, give me 1 second. Alright. Hopefully it shows. Oh, whoops, that was very loud. Credit card. red envelope. Alright, let's see. I don't know if it's set up correctly, but I think I'll have to like eyeball this. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see me on the stream because I'm on the back end. I'm on the stage pulling the ropes behind. So the most you're gonna get is just a hand cam. Alright. Okay. I really hope it captures okay. Oh no! No! It's not working. Okay, now it works. There we go. I just had to turn that off. Alright. It's gambling time. Actually, I don't really know. Oops. Alright, there we go. Just need to put that to the side. Okay. Alright, so this is the thing we didn't open up last week because the delivery guy or the FedEx driver was too busy tinkering around, and yeah, he delivered it late, about a day later. We were gonna open this one up because I only opened up like a 2-pack of tins. So, I kind of had to make up for that. We didn't open a whole lot last week. Pull us a Lilligant or a Petalil. Don't worry, we got the next best thing. We got a Chikorita. The starter that I had for Legends EA. I'm kind of hoping for, I don't know, one of the pink Pokemon. I'm hoping for the Clefairy. I think that's what it's called. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what this is. I don't know why they have like a piece of shit on its head. Actually, no, that's a hat. Never mind. There's just some of the Mega Pokemon I don't really quite understand. Oh no! No! It's blurry again! No! Don't do it! Oh wait, actually, let me see. Maybe that's why. I need to put it more down. Here, let me have it focus. I gotta use like the camera settings just for it to autofocus. Oh look, it's Froggy's hand porn, better than feet pics. You know what's even better? Not paywalling this on OnlyFans. There we go. Okay, we got 3 packs of Perfect Order. The card set that apparently most people don't want. Because there were so many of these at the Target that I went to. Again, I don't really know what's in this set other than the ugly gold card, but if I pull that card, I'm just gonna rip it up. I'll be completely honest, when I say I'll rip it up, I'm actually serious. Here you guys go, here's the code card. Alright, we got some sort of some sort of fox dog shinx. Got a mini Tyrannosaurus Rex. A seal on its belly. 2 blades. An angry Roger Rabbit that looks like he's seen better days. Lumio City. Some sort of phoenix bird. Some sort of Pikachu knockoff, the Dedenne. Whoa, we got a. I don't know what it is. I don't. What is this? Rowlet. Cool. Oh, and we got telepathic energy. Wow. Oh, and we also got some I don't know, Batman energy. Nice. Okay. Dark energy? The blur made your hands look fat? Yeah, well, look at this. If I bring it up to the camera, it's even more fat. Oh my god, Froggy, your fingers, they look like sausages. Why are they so fat? Well, that's just the way that it is. They say the camera adds 50 pounds, and maybe it adds 50 pounds to my fingers. I don't know. Okay, we got another code card. Oh, maybe I've gotten fatter. No, I'm not fat. I know that for sure. I only weigh like 140 or something. I'm not fat. Alright, we got some sort of rat. The long tail. Got some fingerprints on the snow. Oh wait, this is the card we got before, the Rowlet. This one I know what it looks like. It's an owl, right? I don't know what the fuck that was. Alright, we got a sword or a dagger flying at you. Some cute girl. Butterfly. Scorpion. A boot-shaped fossil. Crushing hammer. Don't forget, guys, this is also the equal to a band hammer. Don't say stuff in the chat that's sus. Whoa, we got a dinosaur! Yay, a T-Rex! That goes with the other T-Rex we had. And we got, I don't know, the Triforce energy. Nice! Actually, let me sort out the dinosaurs. I kinda want to include them together. Boss from the, what is it, the Tyrant? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, the Tyrant. And then this evolves from a piece of crap, I think. No, it evolves from Jaw Fossil. Oh. Okay. Nice. We got one set of cards. Cool. Steel energy? Is that what it's called? Steel energy? I don't know, man. I don't know Pokemon. Well, I mean, I know some Pokemon, but... Damn it. I can't open it. There we go. You know, it's fine, whatever. Nice. Oh, hey, Phoenix. How's it going, man? How's the student council thing going? Are you still, like, Still in college doing like in your semester? We got perfect order again. Whoa! Nose pass. Nice. This is kind of cool. Like a Lego. Some sort of ugly Lego. Looks like a kid messed around with it. And he decided to shape it in a different way. Cool. I like that. Okay, we got an angry little scorpion. Oh, this is something I know. Pokeball. I don't know what this is. A fly swatter. Remember to keep those mosquitoes out. Meow stick. An old man. Some bird, I think. Haunter. And we got a superior. Nice. And we got lightning energy. Can you show your most favorite Pokemon card you have? I don't have a favorite. They're all kind of mid to me. Well, actually, that's not true. I do have one that I bought, but I liked it. I'll show it after I open up everything. The fossil low-key looks like shit. I also saw a video of getting the exact same pack. Did you? I didn't know people opened this set. I thought it was like so unpopular enough that nobody would open. Oh wait, no, this is One Piece. Hold on. I'm gonna open this maybe towards... Well, I don't know. I'll open it up right now. I hope you guys like One Piece. I hear it's coming to an end. Who knows? Maybe we might find the One Piece inside. Just like the One Ring from Magic. I don't know. Maybe there isn't. Yeah, still doing that stuff. My term is almost over. Elections are coming up. Spring break is almost basically over for me. How have you been? I've been doing fine. I've been keeping at it, just like, well, just like working, but also doing this as like a, doing this more so for fun, and it's been going pretty well. I mean, I've been enjoying streaming a lot more. Like, as long as I don't treat it as like a job or something, or I need to fulfill like some sort of, I don't know, weekly video, I think it's pretty enjoyable for me. Alright, we got Adventure on Kami Island. With the big ball fist. And we got some sort of angry man with some Rasengan, I think. Aren't those cards like scalps? Are they? I actually just bought these when I came home from Target. Surprisingly, they still had One Piece and they still had Pokemon. I guess nobody really wanted these. Okay, what is this? Oh, hold on. Let me double back on the music. There we go. Alright, we got Spoil, a man with severe injuries. I don't know what that is. Sentomaru. Some sort of psycho clown. Got a big man with no neck. Some sort of panel, and no one else can have it. It's our memento of him. You got Dressrosa Kingdom. Some sort of mini furry. Got a alien girl, Hiso. Got a buff angel. Black rope. Dragon Twister. Wow. Damn, and we got a fat girl. Damn. We couldn't get a good-looking one. We got an ugly girl. Damn it, man. I thought One Piece was supposed to be full of beautiful women. I know I said, like, there aren't, like, ugly women. Only women that are ugly on the inside. But she is ugly on the inside. Alright. Okay, we got one more. We're gonna open up this thing. I don't know, I know the trading card gets rough. Does it? I've never played the One Piece trading card game. I just open it because my sister, she wants some of these sometimes, and then I just get some of my own to open up. She's like, hey, dessert, you got any One Piece? It's like, yeah, I found them at the store. It's like, oh, can you guess some for me? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I got this off of the TikTok shop, because they always have like good deals for trading cards. Some of them are like foreign. This one's in Chinese. I'm kind of surprised that the US doesn't have this sort of thing, because it's like a keychain card where you get to hook it around your waist and, I don't know, get bullied at the lunch table or something. I don't know. Yeah, you guys will see what I mean. This thing is it's very big to carry around. I don't know who would do that. But this set me back $10 or so. Okay, what did we get out of this though? You guys were expecting that fox on the cover. It's not the fox. It is. It is some sort of pin-headed alien. I don't know what that is. But we have it. We have one. Man, I need to find a place to put these. So each one of these comes with a little display. Yeah, so they have these, and I don't know, you can put them inside and you know, put it around your pants and waist, and you carry it around. I don't know, man. It's just like really big. Dusk Noir? Is that what its name is? Oh, they comes with a sleeve! Wow, that's pretty generous. They gave me 5 cents worth of plastic. Man, not even Pokemon would do that. In English, I mean. Oh, we got the keychain itself. That's cool. Alright, we got this big pink pop Funko Pop thing, and then I don't know what all these are. Mew? Oh. Yeah, but what I do know about these packs specifically, since we opened one before, it's just gonna be a huge clump of cards. Alright. Okay, what do we got? We got some sort of chicken. Wow, beautiful coloring in this one. That's kind of cool. I don't know what it is, but that's cool. Some ball thing. Ball with feet. A screw. A mole. A fox. A little lizard. A dog. A clam with a pearl. And I don't know, a middle-aged lady. A girl. A bell. I don't know, Barney's sister. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's aircraft carrier. A moth. A crow. A buff raccoon. No, I don't know. A bird. A fat squirrel. Nice. And we got, I don't know, we got big sumo hands. Cool. I guess the highlight of that is gonna be the big squirrel. Wow. So chunky. And look, it has bananas and other berries, probably. Hariyama? Hariyama? I don't know. Galarian Zapdos. Greedent. Araquanid. Theosmoth. Corviknight. Flaffy. Mid-stage of Dragapult. Cursola. Shelder. I don't know, man. These are kind of confusing me. I have no idea. I don't know Pokemon as much. But that was fun. The ones I do like out of all these are just this thing. The one with Lego blocks. And then we have the set of dinosaurs. We have the jaw fossil, and we have a bunch of other dinos. Okay, let me show you guys the cards that I have that I like. Well, there is a favorite card that I do have, but I actually got this a little while back. This one looks so aesthetically well fitting. It sets the mood. Here it is. This is my favorite Pokemon card that I have, and I got this a little while back. It is a frog contemplating looking at the raindrops. Yes, it is wondering why it exists. That is why I like it. But there's like other things too. Like look at the oil type of structure. And also the blend of colors and lights. And I know it's a frog because it evolves from a tadpole. Yeah, so this is my favorite. Let me see, what else do I have? Actually, I don't really have a whole lot else. I don't know, that's actually about it for Pokemon. Let me see. Well, I have these. I have these that I got a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, but I bought them because I thought I kind of liked them. I like this one because it looks like the Pokemon are jerking off in a circle. Because they're in a park and I don't know what they're doing. So I was like, wow, they put this on a card? Cool. I actually genuinely don't know what that is, but it's on a card. And I thought it looked cool. And I also got this. Like the reason why I got this is because I like the border. I just think that it looks nice with like the whole I mean, it's a lot more different compared to most Pokemon cards. I like how they just did the whole structure, but also had the Pokemon centered. Like, it's definitely not amazing, but I like how it's just like you know, like a photo, a really nice looking portrait. But other than that, I have recently started collecting more of these. I have recently started collecting the silhouette Pokemon cards. I showed this before in the other stream, but I got these the other day for about $3, or I don't know, $2, $3 each. I just like how they have like the silhouette in the back. I think it adds a certain flair to it. Most people might not like them, but I like them. Oh, let me show you guys my Yu-Gi-Oh! Binders. When I say that I collect Yu-Gi-Oh!, I actually do mean it. Like, that's mainly my like, the one thing I collect, mainly. Holy crap. How am I gonna move all these? Oh my god. Alright. Okay. I told you guys I collect Yu-Gi-Oh! Mainly. You guys aren't gonna believe me when I say I have 4 binders of this shit. See, it's so many that it actually encompasses more than 50% of the screen. Okay, maybe I'll just take off like 3 binders. Okay, let me just put them to the side. I'll just go over it like really quickly. I'll just show you guys what I mean. When I say I collect Yu-Gi-Oh! By the archetype, I actually do mean it. So, right now, this one just takes up all the screen, and I get it, but... Like, if you look at my binder... Like, I can't even put the whole thing here. So, most of the cards I do have, I just collect based off of, like, where they belong. So... Like, for example, you have, like, the cookies. You have the mech girl cards. Oh boy. You have the canines. It would look a lot better if I could zoom out, but I can't really do that with the hand cam setup right now. The artifacts. The Jirac dinosaurs, the Hungry Burgers, And yes, I do have the Hungry Burger itself. It's up here. Okay, oh boy. The appliancers. Oh, I also have Exodia. Exodia being up here. Yeah. So, it's not just like this Exodia, but I also have this one. Oh, hold on. Let me put it back. I know not a whole lot of people collect Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's definitely not really collectible in a way because they reprint it, but I just collect it based off of like a specific genre. I don't collect it because they're extremely shiny, but I do collect it if they fit something. Dino Morphia, Toon Page, Toons. I still need to get most of them. Infernoids, a lot of stuff I'm missing, but I'm getting there eventually. Oh, these ones are stamped too. Mazement, Wanderies, Runic, Burning Abyss, Harpy. This is like the main character deck from like one of the Yu-Gi-Oh series. Aromage, Horus, Primals, Insectors, Fiendsmith, Invoked, Crystal Beast, Crystron, the waifu girls. I literally have all of them. Branded takes up 3 pages. Everybody likes that deck for some reason. Vampires, Dark Magicians. Yeah, this covers like the 2nd page too. Dragon Rulers, Ancient Gears, Furries, White Forest, Branded again. I don't know why that's here. Should go with the other pages. Random cute stuff. Goblin Bikers. Okay. Oh god. Chaos. Danger. Gem Knights. Noble Knights. Boojans. Therion. Melodious. Time Thief. Adamancipator. Trickstar. Fossils. Okay, that's it for binder 1. Do you guys want to see binder number 3 and binder 2, 3, and 4? I really doubt you guys want to, but I have so many of them. You guys just gotta believe me. Here, I'll just flash them real quick. This is binder number 2. You guys realize how many archetypes there are in Yu-Gi-Oh? I could have more than 10 binders and it still wouldn't be enough. Because they just keep reprinting and printing new ones. Art Mage. Argo Stars. Magnet Warriors. Megalith. Toys. Mermail Atlantean. Agents. Fish. Amazonas. Ritual Beasts. Gene Raiders. Furry Lunalights. Ancient Warriors. Draco Tail. Gimmick Puppets. Punks. Black Wings. Dragon Maids. Boxers. Battling Boxers. Exo Sisters. Salamangrates. Valmonica, Sulflacord, Dual Avatar, Marincess, Six Samurai, Sushis, I mean, not Sushis, Suships, Blue Eyes with a mix of other stuff because I don't know where to put them. Oh, there's also some more Blue Eyes on the side. Sky Strikers. More Sky Strikers. Mitsurugi. X-Saber. More X-Sabers. GMX. That's one of the newer archetypes. I like Grave Lords. I don't have Grave Lords, unironically. That's the one archetype I haven't yet put together. Just because I don't have enough cards for it, and they haven't done any reprints. Alright, this is the third binder. This one's a little lighter. Fur Hires. Raid Raptors. S-Force. Dark Lords. Really edgy archetype. Archfiends. War Rocks. Different dimension something soldiers. Fire Kings. Plunder Patrol. Performapole. What was this called? Charmers. More Charmers. Centurion. Mitsurugi again. Chronomaly. Cool Tune. Malice. Unchained. Ryzeal. What is this? I'm trying to remember. Voiceless Voice. This is the Dark Souls archetype. The Ashen City. Oh, no, it's called Ashen City. It's called Ashened. Alright, we got, what is this? Gizmic. Ragnarika. Regenesis. Goki. Mutant. Gate Guardian. Nemlyria. Magiki. Libromancer. Azamina. Enneacraft. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. Hecahans. And also, Sinful Spoils. Oh, this one's at the end too. Doom Z. Okay. Alright. I know this is very boring, but I gotta prove to you guys that I collect Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't want to be like one of those people who's like, I collect Pokemon. I don't think you guys can see that I don't have any Pokemon binders. Except for maybe the one my sister gave me. But I have yet to do anything with it. Alright, I have Ice Shades. Trap Tricks. I'm doing this to prove a point. I do it because I enjoy collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! More traps. Destiny Heroes. More Destiny Heroes. Charmers again. Witchcrafters. Watts. Mimigools. Evil Twin. Dream Mirror. Vendred. Spiral. Vanquish Soul. Necros. Memento. Oh yeah, these are the chibi cards. This one's here because it's baked in the sun. I thought it was nice looking. Yeah, but I also collect the chibi ones too. I have a chibi Blue Eyes. Oh, there's also some more chibis here. Ghost Tricks. The Weather Painters. Sprites. Madoche. Valkyries. Tennies. Ice Barriers. Labyrinths. Yeah, that's my those are my Yu-Gi-Oh binders. I know that's a lot to sort through, and I know that's a lot to look through, but see, now you guys can't say that I only collect Pokemon. I collect Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh my god. Okay. Is there anything else that I missed? I don't think I did. Alright, guys. Let me see. Have I missed anything? No magic cards? Yeah, no magic cards. I don't collect magic. There's nothing wrong with collecting magic, but right now it's just like I have so many trading cards. Well, specifically my sister collects them. But recently, in terms of Magic the Gathering, she's very much into Final Fantasy. So she was like, "Can you get me some Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering cards?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go check my Target," and sure enough, they did have some. But I didn't get any because a lot of people bought all of them. So the only one I've ever gotten was like maybe one or two. And I gave all of them to my sister. Ever plan on selling them? Nah, hell no. What the No. I would never sell them. Well, depends. If there ever comes a point where maybe if I pass it down to like my kids and then they want to look over it, like one of these days they'll be like, "Yeah, Dad, what is this? Can we sell it?" I'll be like, "Yeah, I don't know if we can sell it. I mean, in the event you guys need money, yeah, like the most absolute emergencies, I'll be like, sure, you know, you guys, if you really need it. But for me personally, no. Well, unless I get duplicates of them. If I get like, let's say, a duplicate card that I opened up from like a card pack, or I get a booster box and I get like, and I happen to get two of them, I'll just sell one of them, and then I don't know, exchange it for something else at my local card shop. Those are like the only circumstances where I would need to do it, because I don't have a place for them. I can't just put it in the binder because they're just gonna stack on top of each other. Oh, I think that was it. I don't think I have anything else. Oh, there's still these cards here that I still need to put in to the. I still need to put these guys into the binders, but I need to find out where they need to place. I know this belongs into branded, and then this one goes into the undead section. But I don't have an undead section yet, so there's still like a couple I need to do. Alrighty, guys. Is there anything else that I'm missing? I'm probably not. Frogman, I just had some hot chocolate since my throat was hurting. Hot chocolate in this economy? Really? Why aren't you sharing with us? I'm just kidding. I have an iced coffee that I still haven't drank. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I don't have anything else other than some baseball cards. My sister had a lot of baseball cards growing up. Not baseball cards, basketball cards. She had so many of them that she never. Well, she didn't really want them back, so I kind of have them. I just like show them briefly, but I don't think I've ever showed them before, have I? Yeah, these are my sister's old basketball cards. I don't know any of these, so but there's a lot in here. A lot of cards, a lot of shiny shit. There's also like the backside to this too. Yeah, this is a lot. I don't know how old they are, but it's probably in the 90s. We also have some in the, I don't know, the bowls, and I don't know. A lot of poses, going for the one-handed. I don't know, the one-handed. I don't know, what do you call it? Oh, they're going for the slam dunk. And then you have some other cards. More action poses. This guy has a trophy. That's good, right? I don't know, man. It's like a lot. She had so much growing up. Oh, there's also some Dragon Ball Z cards too. I don't know why that's in here. That's cool though, I guess. Yeah, I don't know why this is in here. Yeah, but there's some Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if there's the card game for this exists nowadays, but maybe. These are some very fossilized cards. They're probably not really, well, I don't know, as popular, but I imagine since Dragon Ball Z is still within like the outer US, they should be, the trading card game should still fairly be decently popular. Alright. I have to keep adjusting my seat. I think that's all. I think that's all I had to show you guys for this. Let me go back to the main screen. Hold on. Okay. See, I made up for it, right guys? I didn't open up a whole lot of cards last week, but I opened some this week. Hey, have a good night, Phoenix. I hope your spring break is gonna go well, man. I hope you have some fun. Oh, I completely forgot. Hold on. It's kind of hard adjusting this, but I kind of have to turn it on like manually. There we go. Alright, guys. let me go over this week's, next week's schedule, and then we can call it a night here. I know maybe the last, whenever I do like trading cards and opening them up, maybe it might be boring to most people. But I thoroughly enjoyed like showing people my collection. Well, of Yu-Gi-Oh, I mean. I think it's just fun. Let me see. Next week, we're gonna be... Well, we're still gonna continue with Armored Core. And then on Friday, we might start a new game, or we might try like the Tamagotchi demo. I don't know if I want to start Dead Rising 2, but maybe we're gonna try something else. I don't know. Like, it's kind of hard to try a new game that I haven't played yet. Because I usually... If I try out a game I like, or try out like a game genre that I like, it's usually based off of something I've seen or watched. Or I get recommended of it. So yeah, Friday, I'm not sure what it's gonna be. Case 0 is before Dead Rising 2. Well, we'll see what I pick. I don't know if it's gonna be Dead Rising 2, but if it does happen to be that, well, I don't know. I kind of want to try out some of the Tamagotchi demo. But, well, we'll see. Yeah, Sunday's maybe gonna be karaoke night, since I know some people asked for it. I don't know if you guys really want karaoke night, but you know, it's definitely it's definitely it's definitely a stream. I can't say for certain I can sing, but I'm trying. I will try. So yeah, that might be the schedule going into next week. Okay, guys, that's gonna be it for this stream. I hope everybody has a good night. I want to thank you all for chatting with me tonight. I really appreciate it. I hope some of you guys, well, some of you guys did have a good time chatting with me. I really do thoroughly enjoy doing, like, just chatting in general. Because it kind of doesn't really take away from just, like, the gameplay. And it doesn't just, like, involve me doing that. Because I get to spend some time with you guys and, you know, learning a little bit more about you guys. Or maybe some of the stuff that you guys are going through. Or are doing. So yeah, have a good night. And I'll see you guys until next time. Bye bye.